Hi, I'm Javier Romero from Atos. I'm leader of task 450, generic and domain-specific application development. I would like to know if everybody sees the presentation. I suppose that everybody is already seeing it. Okay. What I'm going to
excuse me. I cannot see your screen, but I would like to check with someone else whether it's only my problem or is general problem.
I see the screen, but I think that Jacques has to disconnect because he did not exit presentation.
Is it working now?
Well, not for me, but again, I would like to hear from some of the other presenters.
It's working for me.
Okay, it's working for other people then? Okay,
yes.
So then continue.
Okay. Okay, I continue. What I'm going to expose is a very general overview of the major pitfalls I faced on my first approach to the FISpace platform as a developer. For sure, many developers will be in the same situation in the future that they faced. The first things that I was wondering was, how do I connect my application to the FISpace platform? What technologies can I use to develop my application? And how do I create a widget so I can see it on the FISpace front end? Okay, let's go with the first point. Okay, I want to create an application for FISpace, and I see a lot of modules and how we connect my application to FISpace. Okay, let's firstly, my application will need to implement a REST web service in order to connect to my front end, so they can interact. The next thing that I need is to connect to FISpace, and the main entry point to the FISpace platform, the SDI, the system and data integration module, and any connection, any application or legacy system that wants to connect to FISpace needs to do it connecting to it. SDI exposes a REST web service. So now we have the entry point. We need to make our backend connect this REST web service. We are assuming that our backend is only, in this case, imagine sending notifications so other applications connected to FISpace can receive them. And the next thing, we deploy our front end as a widget into FISpace front end. And after that, our application is available in any client web browser connected to the FISpace.
All right.
But let's assume that this was we want our application now not only to send notifications, but imagine receive notifications from other applications connected to FISpace. We need to expose a REST web service, and the people working on the platform need to configure the SDI to connect to our REST web service. This way, we have a dual channel communication where we can send notifications or receive notifications. These are easy cases on how to connect an application to FISpace platform. The next thing, I wonder, okay, now I know how to connect to FISpace, but what technologies can I use? everything is, every language that is outside, it's, I can use it or not. Okay, let's try to answer this question. Let's assume that your application has a backend and a frontend. On the backend side, you can use Java, .NET, PHP, Python, Node.js. You can use almost whatever you want if you are implementing a REST web service. So it doesn't matter the language. The only thing that you need to take into account that you need to expose REST web services, as you saw in the previous slide, that to connect to FISpace, you need to expose these REST web services, and to connect to your front end, you also need it. Next thing, your front end. Okay, let's see what we can use here. You need to use HTML5, JavaScript, and CSS. In the end, a widget is a web page embedded into FISpace, and you connect to your web service. To make things easier, there are many frameworks around that you can use to speed up your application development in the front end. In the side of JavaScript frameworks, you can use the ones that I show here in the slide. I've been working on an application that is using AngularJS, and it's working really nice. Also make some tests with jQuery, and it's also working really nice. And in the side of CSS, these are only samples that you can use to improve your application and give them a much more a look and feel much more professional. Now that I know what technologies to use, okay, I know how to connect, I know the technologies that I can use, but the next question is, okay, you have talked about Wild Cloud widgets, how do I create one? Okay, here, suppose that you already have your HTML, your front end in HTML5, JavaScript, and CSS. For this, we can use the FISpace SDK that will make life easier to developers. The SDK will provide you the folder structure and the files needed to create a widget, and shipping it, giving a special extension, you will have your first widget. And the last thing that you need to do is just go to the FISpace front end and go to Wild Cloud, upload it, and you will have it running. We have covered the three main pitfalls that any developer will face the first time he will try to make an application. This is an overall view of the development process for FISpace. I don't want to go into much technical detail. This will be later webinars. Thank you, and that was all.